Welcome to Golden Owls TV. I'm your host, Avery Brooks, and I'm here with Regina McDuffie, City Manager for the City of Brunswick. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here, Avery. As you know, we're ending out our year and, of course, starting the new year. And sometimes that can be, daunting just thinking about it's a new year.
Yes. And it comes up fast. I know y'all had a lot of activity, especially toward the end of 2023. Some great First Fridays, Grib Fest, and a lot of fun activity First Friday, and then their Christmas tree lighting, and then the Christmas parade. You want to talk about those things for a minute before we?
Yeah, definitely. We were very excited about the first Friday, turned out really good. We had a really great turnout for the end of year, and it's funny, sometimes people think that first Friday would be not go through the winter months, but so far we've had great weather to culminate those first Friday events and just really good participation from the public. And of course, we had the Christmas tree lighting, and it had just a tremendous amount of kids that came out. I was there, and Dr. Johnston from the college read the "Twas the Night Before Christmas" for all the kids, and then Santa was there. So it was really nice. Good to see the kids out. And of course, again, the weather was very nice that evening as well. The parade was last weekend. We had to move it. It's normally the first weekend in December, but we had a couple of conflicts. The SEC championship game was that day. Go Dogs, but they didn't win. So everybody's a little bit disappointed with that. But also it was rainy, and we were trying to make sure, or wasn't sure about canceling until almost the morning of. So, but we ended up canceling, which was a good thing because the weather was horrible that day. It was rainy, but we also rescheduled it for last Saturday, and the weather was really nice. The parade was really well attended. I think they had upwards of 8,000 people in attendance.
Oh my!
Had all over 80 floats and exhibits, and people participating. The mayor was there, and the commissioners were there. The police department, the county police, the fire department, county fire department, sheriff's office. There were a number of floats, and the city, for the first time in over 20 years, we had a float that my staff and department directors and managers put together. It was really nice. We followed the Victorian theme, and we won first prize in the civic category. So very proud of that. Was able to, just bring home some city pride in terms of being present and recognized for the parade.
Yes, that sounds quite exciting. Yeah, I saw there was a live stream on Facebook, and then we took the link and aired that on the network. So yeah, it will be airing in December, although this show will air in January. But yeah, it was a great parade, a lot of successful events leading up to the end of the year. So congratulations on all of that. It's nice when you everybody worked so hard from the city staff to the downtown development authority and all the businesses getting everything ready. So it's great when it all comes together and turns out well.
Yes, and today the city had its employee luncheon for Christmas, where we give out our gift cards and prizes, door prizes. We actually had a karaoke feature in our Christmas party this time, and it was really fun. We really had great attendance to that Christmas party. And, we try and thank the employees for all of the hard work throughout the year. There's been so many different projects and dates and things that they have taken care of. Like you said, the city works really hard to support a lot of the events, and sometimes the employees, they get recognized for certain things, but there's a lot of participation in First Friday, from the police, the fire, the public works, especially cleaning up after all the events that we have downtown. The Porch Fest event, which was in November, was so well attended, but it also, had a lot of moving parts in terms of the city's street closings, barricades, cleanup, and the fire and police presence at that event. So it's a lot of work in addition to the normal, regular patrolling, cleaning streets, cleaning parks, responding to emergencies and that kind of thing. So, the employee appreciation luncheon that we had, we just wanted to thank the employees for all of the hard work during the year. It was ongoing. It seems like we had something going on every month. And, downtown has just been booming. I can imagine we've had record numbers this year for First Friday and for most of the events that have happened downtown. So have the shrimp drop coming up on the 31st. So, we hope to culminate the year with a big event and finish up, but we've gotten so much good comment, good review, good press from all of the things that have been going on. The businesses downtown are very happy with people being, on the streets at night and patronizing the restaurants and things like that. So just a lot of stuff going on. And, the city works to keep the city clean and just support all of these things.
Right. No, yes. And you make a very good point that, the businesses should be happy because these events typically do happen maybe off hours where, the businesses can stay open and the restaurants and all that to take advantage. Some restaurants might not really be open or available till after 5. So, if you had something during the day, they would not benefit unless. So it's nice that they can take advantage of things like First Friday and some of the other things that are happening.
Yeah. And, as much as it brings people downtown, like you said, even if the businesses, some of them do stay open for First Friday, and it gives them that little extra exposure so that people know they're there and can come back during the week or during their regular business hours and that kind of thing. So it does give them a lot of exposure. We got a lot of good comments from after the parade saying that, restaurants saw an uptick in business during that time. And it's just been a lot of, good response. We have the cruise ships coming in now on a regular basis, and we've gotten positive feedback from them from, the areas of downtown having restaurants and being open, and also just all of the people who, have attended events in the area.
Yes, it's been amazing. There have been kind of a combination of things, I think, that have led to this sort of boom in a positive way in downtown Brunswick. So, yeah.
And I hope you all have had the opportunity to see the Christmas lights. We tried to increase our presence with that, and we are going to continue to improve upon the Christmas lights downtown because we know Jekyll Island has a beautiful display of lights. There are nice lights displayed in the pier in St. Simons. And so, we want to have Brunswick as a piece of that exposure for the lighting as well.
Of course, yes. And yes, we did notice more lights this year. And in fact, our sort of message was Brunswick is shining light and bright this Christmas season. So, yeah. But no, everything is light and bright and getting better and better. So, yeah, we really just want to move toward. We talk about it, and if you're able to go to the event, you can see what's happening. But we really want to spotlight in the new year downtown Brunswick and some of these activities, whether it be an event or just a First Friday, or just kind of like, hey, what's coming up soon, so people can kind of be aware, put it on their calendar, and get excited about joining all the fun festivities. But the cruise ships and the lights and everything, the music and the restaurants and some of the new restaurants that are really getting some acclaim. People are raving about those. So it's a combination of things, but it's very exciting, and we can't wait to see what happens in downtown in the new year. So let's move to the new year, January 2024. What's going on in the month of January and then moving toward the first quarter of the year?
Well, January is, like I said, we'll start with the shrimp drop and then we'll have a First Friday event. Actually, we've been toying with what the theme would be. We're trying to, create some excitement for the first of the year. So that'll be a really, I guess it'll be a surprise because right now we don't have anything defined, but certainly want to support the DDA, the downtown development, and all of their efforts with that. As far as the city goes, we'll be just recovering. Of course, our audit kind of culminates at the end of the year. So that's a big thing that we have to push through at the year end and starting with January. And of course, the new commissioners, we have 2 new commissioners that will be coming on board in January. As a matter of fact, when I started here, we had a different mayor and different commissioners. So really the whole board, with the exception of Commissioner Felicia Harris, has changed in the 3 years that I've been here. So we will welcome Commissioner Lance Saby for the South Ward and Commissioner Gwen Atkinson Williams for the North Ward of the city, which are 2 new commissioners and persons. I don't think either of them have been served in elected office before, so they are very new. I know Lance has been on several boards. He will have to move off of the Planning Commission board in order to be on the Board of Commissioners for the city. So I know he's been, involved in a lot of different boards. And I think Ms. Williams has been involved in, community activity around the community. So both of them will be coming on as new commissioners. And Georgia Municipal Association has an opportunity for new commissioners to go through orientation. So they'll be doing that. We'll have the swearing in on the first meeting in January to bring them aboard. Of course, we are losing 2 commissioners who are longtime commissioners, Commissioner Martin and Commissioner Cason.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that. We actually are going to feature those 2 commissioners to give them an opportunity to kind of wrap up their term there with the city and say goodbye and just we show our appreciation for both of them for all their hard work. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Golden Owls TV. And now we are so honored to be with Mayor Pro Tem Julie Martin and Commissioner Johnny Cason. So welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Happy to be here.
Well, we're so glad that y'all could join us today. Today we're talking about, just kind of wrapping up your term, I guess, as Mayor Pro Tem and Commissioner for the City of Brunswick. So I guess I'll start with you, Julie, and tell me, what was, we appreciate you so much. What do you appreciate about your position and how you were able to help the community?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Well, John and I both have served 3 terms, 4 years each. So that's a total of 12 years that we have poured ourselves into our community and really looked strategically at things and trying to make sure that the decisions we make and the things that we bring before the full commission are worthy of moving forward with, and that we look carefully at decisions that we make, thinking long term, not just short term, because sometimes some decisions are really hard to make. But all in all, I would say I feel like when I was asked to run back in actually 2011 would have been when we started campaigning in order to be elected to begin serving in 2012. I have a very strong real estate background and was able to take advantage of a lot of economic development as well as leadership training locally as well as at the state level. And I feel as though those factors and making sure that I came in, and during the first year or two of serving that I took as many training classes as I could. We have a great Carl Vinson Institute through our Municipal Government Association in Atlanta that has a lot of spectacular, really well worth it training classes, which I took advantage of. So I feel as though that really helped a lot in moving forward during those years of recession, in preparing the city to come out of the recession locked and loaded and ready to go with some strong redevelopment. So I would say that to me was the most significant.
Yes, and you make a good point. Both of you have been on for a while, and 12 years is a long time. And so you really did see sort of I feel like the beginning of Brunswick starting to get great and things are happening. Then we have the pandemic, and I think that sort of put everything a little bit on hold. But like you said, then came out of that stronger than ever. So it's been such an interesting way to serve your community. It's could have been good times and in bad. So, Mr. Cason, tell us about your experience. What is kind of meaningful to you?
Well, the whole experience is mighty meaningful, and I can tell you this: that 12 years does seem like a long time. I concur, but it goes in a hurry. Let me tell you, it really does. And you think you're not going to get there, and it just keeps on keeping on, And it's I turn around. I wish I could jump. I can't, but I jump up and down that we finished the 12 years, and I think we've left the city of Brunswick a pretty good starting point for the folks that are coming in. And one of the things that I had to my advantage is that I grew up here in Brunswick. I wasn't born here, but my folks were from here and moved away during the war, and I was born in Columbia, South Carolina. But I've known everybody here that was in city government all the way back to the 50s, and most of them have known me. If they were down at the courthouse, I had a record down there, it seemed like, so they knew me there too. But I'm just kidding about the record. But knew most of the people there that were working within the courts and the judges and the people like that. So I had no idea, though, that I had a goal. It was a lifelong goal to stay in the city of Brunswick all of my life. I never wanted to live anywhere else. And I always said that I'd rather sweep the streets of the city of Brunswick than live anywhere else. And I'll tell you, I came close to having to take the broom a time or two, but I wound up, and I think God sent me down to the city of Brunswick because I'm not a politician. I'm an industrialist. I'm a business person. I'm all those kind of things, but I'm not a politician. And I wanted, just when I looked other places for employment, when I left home health care, which was ABC Home Health Services, where I was in charge of distribution and procurement and logistics out there. I looked at going down to the place in St. Mary's that blew up. So it's a good thing I didn't go down there, and then I started looking around. There was a City of Brunswick, and I had done a UDAG project with Roosevelt Harris with 31 building units owned by people, actually bought them. And I enjoyed working with Roosevelt at that time. And so that put me in the city of Brunswick. I got hired down there and worked for 11 years, and probably wouldn't have been sitting here for 12 years if I hadn't gone down there and gone to work. I think it was sort of happenstance the way it worked out, but just so much there. I think is significant growing up in a town and being able to serve and go through the recreation department where I grew up and spent much of my life, and swimming in the pool here, and then getting to tear the pool up and build a new one, which I did all of that when I was with the city. So lots going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, talk a little bit about recreation, because growing up here and seeing how it used to be, and then how it's, how it was not great for a while, and now it's kind of been reborn. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, we got to see how it's going to be reborn. You've got things a little bit different out there right now than from when I was there, and you don't really have a lot of space out there, and a lot of work's going to have to be done. And what I can share with you, it looks to me like probably somewhere between $4 and $6 million is going to need to be spent to bring Howard Coffin Park back up. And again, I question, where are you going to be in the years ahead there? But you do have a good foundation out there, and it is absolutely part of my fabric is growing up out there. So we'll just see. I'm not really sure exactly. It is entirely different from when I came through the program. Lots more going on. I mean, we shot pool, we played ping pong, and now there's almost everything out there that a child would need to be involved with. And most of us walked out there too, by the way. And I know during the time the city owned or had the Howard Coffin Park before it went away for the county, we were picking people up and carrying them out there. So we'll see how they progress with it.
Right. Yeah. I hope they are trying to get so many people involved to kind of, recreate that what you actually experienced growing up. So hopefully they can do that, or, one step at a time. Julie, let's go back to you for 1 minute. The squares. I know you've been so involved with the squares over the years. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Well, we got our 501c3 designation the end of 2005 and hit the ground running there. And I think we've done a significant number of renovation projects in the squares, primarily in the downtown area, because we knew that would have a large positive impact on our downtown area. So that was our focus initially. And it's been great to see over the last 15 years what that has done to our downtown area. And I think especially just this past Christmas, a few days ago, and certainly after Thanksgiving leading up to Christmas, the lights, just the number of folks that are utilizing our historic squares on a daily basis. We have a lot of foot traffic walking through, looking at the signage. And it's had a very significant impact on redevelopment and setting the stage for, the investment dollars that attract private investment dollars, people that purchase buildings downtown that need to be rehabbed. And so that's all been accomplished. And so I think, I'm looking forward now to having a little bit more time to really devote to the squares and doing some really strong fundraising, grant writing, because we do have an end in sight, and there would be nothing better to finish all of them and dust off my hands and just watch them be used. And so they've had a great effect on our downtown area. And as we push into the residential area in the historic district with some of those squares, we've already seen over the years people purchasing residential properties that surround the squares because they get it. They know that that's going to add value to their property and really create a great quality of life for everybody, not just in the historic district, but our whole community. So it's great now to see the cruise ships that pull up at Mary Ross Park, and instead of being whisked off to St. Simon's or Jekyll Island, they have opportunities to walk our downtown area, explore the historic squares, and it's great to see them out doing that. And I love to engage them in conversation and just kind of get their thoughts and feelings on what our downtown area is like, and what do they enjoy most about it. So I'm looking forward to the next chapter with Signature Squares, and actually we've identified a grant through the city as part of the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship that we're going to be applying for that grant in this next year. It's a huge grant. It would really help move us forward, if not give us the opportunity to finish all the squares. But it's going to take some really significant fundraising to come up with the match associated with the grant if it's awarded. So I'll still be very involved with the city because it is a city partnership with the nonprofit and some of our other strategic partners. So I will be in and out of City Hall a lot, even after the 31st of December, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. We're just about out of time, but I just want to say, I thought you put it very well, both of you, really highlighting your term and all the years that you've been devoted to the city. And we just appreciate that, speaking for all the people of the community and the city itself, the staff and everybody, I know really appreciates your time, talent, and commitment. So we want to thank you. And like you said, you sort of brought it to this point. You've accomplished a tremendous amount, but also set the stage for the future. So we just anticipate great things for the city of Brunswick, and it's all really thanks to the two of you and others who have really dedicated their time. So we appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you very much.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
Have a good evening.
You too. Happy